everyone, my name's Jade and this is Buddy. He is our rescue dog from Amicii Dog Rescue in Romania, and we've had him for about 3 months now. And if you watch my first video where I introduced you to him when we first got him, you will see that he has grown a lot. He's floofed out a lot. He is so fluffy. He's such a gorgeous boy. We feel very lucky. But I will link that video in the description if you'd like to watch that. We talk a lot about the adoption process, so there's lots of useful information in there for anyone who's considering adopting, and in particular adopting from abroad. And as we've had Buddy for quite a while now, haven't we, sir? I call him Sir, that's his nickname, I'm not really sure why. But yeah, we've had him for quite a while now, so I thought it would be good to film a little pup day to tell you how Buddy's getting on, how he's settling in, and just to talk about the process in general of having a rescue dog, what it's really like months down the line and how they settle in. And I also asked on Instagram, didn't we, if anyone had any questions about Buddy or the rescue dog kind of experience in general. So I will answer those at the end. I think Buddy wants to go and play with Kitty now. So now the dogs are settled down, fast asleep on either side of me, let's get into giving you a little update on the past 3 months with Buddy. So in my first video about Buddy, we had only had him for a couple of weeks, so we were all still really getting to know each other. And in rescue there's the term the rule of 3, I think that's what it's called, and essentially it kind of theorises that dogs take 3 days to decompress. They're probably really stressed or scared and shut down, and this is the period where Buddy just slept. So I think I mentioned he loved a certain corner of our sofa and he would just lay there and sleep the whole time. So we definitely went through that little period. Then the next, I think it's 3 weeks, the dog is starting to test boundaries a bit more, come out of themselves and start to feel comfortable, which he definitely did. He started to feel comfortable very soon after those initial 3 days where he felt quite scared, I think, and on edge, and he was very nervous of the other dogs in particular. And then finally it takes 3 months for them to become fully comfortable, he's having a little itch, in their homes and start to really trust you and form a secure bond. And I think we're definitely in that stage at the moment, and of course this completely varies on a dog by dog basis depending on what that dog has been through in the past and their trauma. But I think luckily I don't think Buddy holds a lot of trauma because he was rescued really young, so that is really lucky. But it has taken him quite a while, I think, to get really comfortable with us. So he is not the most cuddly dog, and I absolutely love cuddling the dogs. I just want to love them. So for me that's been quite hard because I love to just cuddle the dogs and show them love, but I've really had to let Buddy go at his own pace. And if I pick him up for a cuddle, it's now got to the point where he'll stay there and he likes the affection, but then when he wants to go, he wants to go, and he just jumps up, and often he'll like barely move. If he's laying down with me on the sofa just kind of here, he will just like jump up and then pivot and flop down next to me. But I think it's really important to give rescue dogs their space and let them go at their pace and kind of show you what they want and when they're ready for certain things. So although it's really tempting, you just want to cuddle them and love them, you have to let them kind of do that at their own pace. And now I think probably for the last month or so, it's the cutest thing when my alarm goes off in the morning. Well, my first alarm, I'm one of those people that has to set multiple alarms because otherwise I won't get up. Buddy hears it and he sleeps like down the end of the bed. Kitty sleeps kind of right next to me, and he'll like kind of crawl all the way up my body and lay on me and give me a cuddle, and it's just the nicest little wake up. And I think the first time he did it I almost cried because I was like, wow, he really loves me. And he definitely does love us. I think he is just taking a while to trust us and to form that bond, and that's totally okay, and it means the bond will be even stronger once it is fully formed. So one thing that has not changed since we first got Buddy is that he still loves and is obsessed with any and all food, to the point where we've had to buy a little slow feeder, which is essentially like a little food maze. Otherwise he was just inhaling his food and then he'd get hiccups after he ate like a baby. So yeah, that is nice that we've not had to worry about him kind of being off his food. We have the opposite problem, he just wants to eat all the time, whatever. We have had a couple of incidences on walks where he has eaten unsavoury items, the worst being a few weeks ago. I don't know if this is TMI, if you're grossed out by poop, then maybe fast forward a minute or so. But we were on a walk and he will pick stuff up with his mouth, so we're really working on the drop it command because obviously we don't want him to pick things up that are kind of dirty and bad for him. And I saw that he like had something in his mouth and he was chewing, so I just quickly opened his mouth, reached in, and it was a poop. It was a whole poop, and oh my goodness, it was disgusting. He swallowed it. It was, yeah, it was really gross. We had to swiftly go home after that. So yeah, that was an unpleasant experience. That is the only time that he has done that. But yeah, we are working very hard on the drop it command because anything is food to Buddy. So as I mentioned, he is definitely getting closer and closer to us every day, more and more loving, and you can tell he's feeling more comfortable and secure with us. But Buddy's favourite person in the entire world is Kitty. He is obsessed with her. She just is an angel in his eyes. I mean, she is in mine too. I can see why he's so obsessed with her. He just wants to be with her 24/7. He is just in love with her, and Matt takes Kitty out running with him once a week, and I don't think we did that for the first few weeks that we had Buddy for whatever reason. And when he first did it, Buddy got so upset, so I took Buddy out for a walk at the same time so that he wouldn't be too upset. He was just sniffing the floor trying to find them the whole time, so he is definitely super bonded to Kitty, which is really lovely. But he has got a little bit too boisterous with his play with her, so if he had his way he would play 24/7, and where they used to do a lot of chasing play, he now does a lot of mouthing play, and I think that's because he's teething and he's also just testing the boundaries, and if it ever gets too much she really tells him off and he will kind of back off, but he then just looks at her and like is like trying to get her to play with him. So if you follow me on Instagram, you might see that I mentioned we've actually got a dog trainer. So we found a really lovely lady who is local to us that does dog training, and she's a vegan herself. She is a big animal lover, so she's absolutely perfect for us. She uses all kind of kind, gentle methods and tries to understand the dog's behaviour as to why they might be acting a certain way. So we've got, I think, 6 sessions booked with her. We've had our initial consult, and I'm going to be doing a video all about our dog training journey because hopefully we'll learn lots of stuff that will be helpful to lots of you. But we've spoken to her about kind of calming Buddy down and just ways that we can engage his mind so that he doesn't always approach Kitty in this way, which will hopefully be really helpful long term. And then we are also going to work on Kitty's nerves because she's quite a nervous little dog, so we want to work on that. Something that I mentioned in my first video that I was so proud of and so happy with is that Buddy was fully toilet trained, and he never did the whole peeing in the house, which with a young dog and especially a rescue who hasn't lived in a house before, we were fully expecting to have to toilet train him, and he just went outside all the time, and we thought, wow, we are so lucky. Now I eat my words, he has regressed a little bit on that front, and I think it's because when we got him it was really nice weather and we're obviously both at home all day, so the doors were always open, so we were out a lot and him and Kitty could go in and out whenever they wanted. But now as the weather's got bad, the doors are closed a lot more, and he went through a phase of like running upstairs, and we thought that's really weird, and then after a while we noticed a pattern. He would like run upstairs really sneaky and he was doing poos on the landing or in the spare room, and we wouldn't realise until a smell started to waft down and we'd be like, oh my goodness, he's done it again. So we just had to kind of retrain him a bit and just make a lot more of a conscious effort to just keep putting him outside at regular intervals. Even if he didn't need to go, we would just go outside with him, and that soon went away. But then a couple of weeks ago we had an incident where Buddy decided it would be so funny to pee on the duvet in our spare room, which is where my little cousins stay when they sleep over, and the duvet in our room. Just out of nowhere. It was probably our fault, maybe we hadn't taken him out a lot that day, but yeah, he just thought, where can I do the most amount of damage? I'm gonna pee on their duvets. So that was kind of disgusting, but I mean, I think it would have been a little bit too lucky if we had a perfectly toilet trained dog with no little kind of step back. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, since then he has been really good. I think we've been making a lot more of an effort, so it's probably more we've been really good at putting him outside, but I think that's just something you have to expect, especially if a dog has never lived in a house before. So if you are rescuing a street dog or a dog from a puppy farm, they don't kind of know what the rules of houses are, and you just have to be really gentle and kind and teach them. And I think having another dog to copy is really helpful, because I think he probably could smell in a kind of gross way, but he could probably smell in the garden like, oh, this is where we do our toilets. So moving on to one of the biggest positives, and that is walks. I think when I filmed my first video about Buddy, he had only been on a few walks. We were just getting him used to it, and he has grown in confidence so much, and it's so lovely to see. He is just the perfect advocate for rescue dogs when we're on walks. People are always saying, oh my goodness, he's gorgeous, what is he? And we just say, we don't know, he's a rescue. And it's a really good way to kind of get to talk to people about rescue, and they can just see what an amazing, friendly dog he is. He is so lovely. People always comment on what a good temperament he has. He loves to play with other dogs. It's just really lovely to see. We feel so proud and so lucky at how well he's doing, and we are also fully aware that it is not a linear process. It can go up and down. You know, he can do really well at something one day and then the next day do not so well. But we think he's doing amazingly, and yeah, we just love him very much. So now I'm going to answer the questions that I got on Instagram about Buddy and just about rescue in general. So the first question someone asked is, if I know I would prefer a smaller dog, am I allowed to say? And I think that's a really good question, and I think absolutely yes, you should say that. So when you are applying for a dog, you have to be realistic and know which kind of dog will fit into your lifestyle and what you're able to kind of handle, so that you can give that dog the best life and, you know, have the best relationship that you can possibly have. So Matt and I, for example, we love to walk our dogs, but we are not super sporty, active people. So a border collie, for example, would not be a good dog for our family at the moment, because we are not active enough to give a border collie what they need and all of the mental stimulation that is required for them to be happy. So I think it's really important to apply for dogs that you think would fit really well into your lifestyle, because there are so many dogs that need homes out there. There is a dog for everyone to suit every kind of lifestyle. So I think as long as you are patient and you keep looking, you will definitely find a dog that fits into your lifestyle. Next, I have a series of questions from our friend Tom, who has not yet met Buddy. Tom would like to know, who would win in a fight, Kitty or Buddy? So Buddy is now quite a bit bigger and kind of heavier than Kitty, although he's still shorter because of his little sausage dog legs. However, Kitty is the boss and they both know it. So Kitty would win in a fight for sure. Next question is, who would win in a 100-meter sprint, Kitty or Buddy? Again, Kitty is going to take the prize on this one. She is so fast when she is running for a ball. Matt and Kitty's favourite game to play together is fetch, and he can throw the ball really far. Whenever I throw it, I really go for it. I kind of run backwards and like throw it, and it just goes hardly anywhere. I'm clearly not very talented in that area, but Matt can launch the ball really far and Kitty just runs so fast, and Buddy kind of chases after her, but again, because he has tiny little legs, he's very slow. So Kitty would definitely win in the sprint. And the final question from Tom is, who has the best taste in music, Kitty or Buddy? So Kitty, I would say she's into kind of like emo music. She's a very emotional, like deep dog. So I feel like she's into 2000s emo music if I had to give her a genre. And Buddy, I would say he's probably into Romania music because that is his home country. We should actually play some and see if he likes it. So yeah, they have very different tastes in music, but they both love when me and Matt play piano and guitar, so I'd say they both have good taste in music. The next question that I've got, and I've had quite a lot of DMs similar to this since I've started posting about Buddy and posted the first video, and this person is just asking for tips and suggestions of like how to look for a rescue dog and kind of the best way to go about it. So I think I mentioned in my first video, and this would be my #1 tip, and that is to follow the Facebook pages of as many rescues as possible. All of the rescues that you think you might like to rescue from, follow their Facebook pages, and if you are really serious and you want to get a dog kind of soon, maybe even put on notifications for when they post. I don't know if you can do that on Facebook. I feel like you probably can. I'm not sure, but if not, just keep checking back every day, because I've found, and I still follow all of those pages even though we are not planning on adopting a dog in the next few months. We'll see. I'm just unstoppable. I already want to rescue another dog, but I know we need to settle Buddy in a little bit more first. But yes, anyway, I still follow all of the rescues, and the demand for dogs is so high at the moment that a lot of rescue dogs aren't even making it to the website of rescues. They are just being posted on the Facebook pages, and then there will just be a link to go to their website and fill out an adoption form there. But if you're just looking for the available dogs on a website, you might miss out on some of the dogs that are newly listed. So I would definitely say follow all of the Facebook pages of the rescues that you're interested in, and just keep checking back daily and see if there is a dog that you think you would like to apply for. So as I did in my previous video, I will put a link down below of some of the rescues that we were looking at adopting from, and would probably adopt from in the future, / will adopt from in the future. I hope Matt's not watching this video because he likes having 2 dogs. And the final question is from someone who is actually adopting an Amicii dog, which is so exciting. And they asked me what I fed Buddy to start with, as they've read that travelling can leave the dog's tummy a bit unsettled for a few days. So that is something that's really good to be aware of, especially if you are getting a dog from abroad and they are having to make a car or plane journey to get to you. That can be very stressful and unsettling for them. So I know Buddy's brother had a bit of an upset stomach for quite a while after travelling, but luckily that wasn't an issue for Buddy. He was absolutely fine with his normal food straight away. But I guess it is good to be prepared with more plain options for your dogs in case they have an upset stomach. And I think what we did, and what is generally recommended, is as soon as you can, once the dog has kind of decompressed and settled a little bit, to just take them to your vet to just have a general checkup, you know, see how they're doing, and then they can advise you on any concerns you might have and just make sure the dog is okay. And it's really nice to just have that reassurance from your vet. So we took Buddy within the first week of having him, just to have him looked over, and I think maybe because he was still very calm at that stage, our vet was like, wow, this dog is like the example they show you in vet school of the perfect dog that just sits there to be examined, and no dogs are like that in real life. But now that Buddy has lived the princess life and has been babied, I don't know if he'll be so well behaved at the vet. So those are all of the questions, and that brings an end to our little Buddy update. Maybe once we've had him for 6 months, we can do another little update. I cannot imagine how big he's going to be by then. He'll probably be taking up the whole bed. Oh, look at you, handsome boy. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful, and I will see you very soon with another video. Bye!